What's up, you guys? It's Paul here from the 9 to 5 Investors Club channel. In this video, I wanted to share my thoughts with you about Gamestop, AMC, Blackberry, and all these penny stocks, pretty much, which used to be penny stocks, which are going absolutely crazy because of Wall Street bets. Okay, so right now, I'm sure all of you have heard of it by now. I don't even need to give you an introduction, but Gamestop has been going absolutely insane. 2,000% in 3 months is so crazy. I can't even believe it. In fact, when they jumped from like $4 or $5 to 20 or 30, I thought that was crazy, and now it's at 292. And when intraday it hit as high as $380 or something like that. And this is because all the people on Wall Street bets are heavily buying call options and tons of shares, millions and millions worth of shares, because this has been the most shorted stock. Okay, so there's this website called highshortinterest.com, and as you can see, GameStop has a short interest of 138%, which is huge. Like, typically, if the short interest is over 20-30%, that's considered high. But the fact that GameStop has 138% of short interest shows you that that's absolutely ripe for a short squeeze. Okay, and then when you have people pumping it like crazy, I think there are 3.6 million people on Wall Street bets, if I'm not wrong, and you have people on there with tens of thousands, hundreds, and even millions of dollars together, pretty much pumping the stock with call options. And a lot of people, like hedge funds, which are shorting the stock, have to cover their positions as the stock keeps going up. So that's creating an intense buying pressure on them, and it keeps shooting up. Okay, so you already know how it works now. There's just absolutely no way to come up with a price target for it. This is past valuation now. This is past any kind of potential price target, potential acquisition, or news about the company, any insiders buying or selling. There's just no fundamental reason except for the fact that there's an intense short squeeze going on for it. Okay, now depending on whether you're already in GameStop or not, I have a couple of suggestions that I wanted to share with you, and I also wanted to show you how I am dealing with it. Okay, so regarding GameStop, I actually got these $30 puts expiring on Feb 26th, way back when GameStop was still around $64. Okay, so just a few days ago, when we saw this, not even this one, when we saw this little spike, which seemed huge at the time, when it was around $65, that's when I got these puts. But surprisingly, even though the stock has quadrupled or even quintupled since then, these puts are somehow still up 106%, which makes absolutely no sense to me. And I honestly think it only has to do with the fact that the implied volatility is so crazy. I've never seen an option with a 629% implied volatility, but that's really what's pushing the price of these puts up, even though the stock itself is up a lot. Okay, so if you're already in it, here's the best way that I would trade it if you're having a whole lot of FOMO. So at first, I got 3 puts expiring on Feb 26th at an average cost of $270, and I put in a total of $810. And honestly, I thought this would expire completely worthless considering how they shot up. But because the puts are still holding value and they're up, over 100%, I decided to sell out of 2 of them, recover my initial investment, as well as lock in a $160 profit. And now I don't have to worry about these puts expiring worthless anymore, because I've at least made a $160 profit. Okay, now what I'm really hoping for is that GameStop at some point would eventually crash. I don't know how much it's going to hit. It may hit 400, 500, maybe even 1,000, like some people are saying. But if it's going up $50, $60, $100 per day, it can easily fall $100, $200, $500 a day, depending on how much it goes up. Okay, so just between now and the 26th, in an entire month, so much can happen. There's just no way to even predict it. Okay, so that's what I'm planning to do right now. If you have any GameStop calls or even puts, if you're up over 100% or 200% or whatever it is, sell enough that you're recovering your initial investment and at least a little bit of profit. Okay, so if you're that way, even if you're facing too much FOMO, that this thing is just getting out of hand, and you keep thinking that it's going to get 400, 500, or even 1,000, and you don't want to miss out on the run, as long as you recover your initial investment, you're not going to lose any more money on it. Okay, so I know a lot of people who got calls when it was still $60 or $70 or even $100. I'm sure they're up a ton. So if you're up, say, 200-300%, maybe you don't even need to sell half your calls. Maybe you only need to sell a third of it, or even a quarter of them, to recover your initial investment, and then you can ride the rest. Okay, so that's exactly how I'm planning to play it. You also have Blackberry. Blackberry is also being pumped a lot, up 32% for the day. down 10% after hours. So this has been a fairly typical trend that I've noticed all these stocks that are being pumped, they're shooting up like crazy during the day, and they start coming back down towards the end. Usually tends to be red in the after hours. But let's see what happens tomorrow. There's just no way to guess where it's going to stop. Have a look at the website too. This also gives you an early idea of what stock might short squeeze just based on the short interest. Even a Virgin Galactic shot up like crazy today. It went from $42 to $58 up because their short interest is 81%, which is also crazy. Okay, so I had a bunch of shares which have been doing well. Obviously, I'm not going to complain. I'm not complaining about that. But I also got a couple of puts just today. 5 of these $40 puts at an average cost of $282. They're up 18% for now, but you know, Virgin Galactic is also pulling back after this insane run up to 58, down another 7% after hours. I don't think Virgin Galactic can squeeze as much as Gamestop or AMC or any of those are, but definitely watch out for it. Again, same story as before. If you have these puts or calls on them, if they're up over 100%, recover your initial investment and you can hold the rest without having to worry about losing money. Okay, so that's all I wanted to share with you guys here today. Just don't give into too much FOMO, guys. That's what I wanted to share with you mainly. Even if you do, make sure you're recovering your initial investment. Protecting your initial investment is ultimately the goal, because if you have that, you don't have to worry about it anymore. But I've seen people where just AMC or GameStop is 80% of their portfolio, which is so crazy. I don't know. I would be a nervous wreck the entire time if that were me. But so even if you want to put something to it, make it 2-3%, and then just ride it. And that way, even if that doesn't go the way you want it to, you'll still be okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys here today. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to smash that like button if you did. Leave a comment below based on your thoughts. Feel free to share your thoughts. I'd love to hear how you are trading these stocks, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you haven't already. Okay, thanks again for watching, and until next time.